the players, look at the middle of the park. Who's going to have Fred and McTominay in the team of the good sides?
Right.
None of them. So you look at the front four and you think, why are these guys not producing? Well, are they getting enough of the ball? Well, if you can't get enough of the ball against Newcastle, who, quite frankly, look as though they're going to go down, in my opinion, then what chance have you got? So you could have anybody up front you want to pick. If you can't get them the ball, you ain't going to score goals. And if your two in the middle can't get the front four the ball, and they ain't stopping anybody getting through to get to the back line.
Yeah.
So, as much as it's Rangnick's fault, I tell you, a lot of it is the players are just not good enough.
How much trouble are they in, Nedum?
I think, as Mark was alluding to there, I think you will get a sense of how good he actually is as a coach, because he's got this system which he's tried to bring in here. But I think with the players that he has there, if it doesn't work in, say, a month's time, you'll probably start to see it go severely downhill. I think he's got an idea in terms of wanting to keep the ball, create an overload in midfield with everything being so narrow. But unfortunately, at the minute, it doesn't seem like it's really going to create that much for them. And you can say they've missed certain chances and stuff in other games, but it's not really what you expected. That new manager bounce seems to have existed everywhere else but at Manchester United, because they got some results, but you didn't really see like a huge step up in performance. And going to St James's Park yesterday, even though for Newcastle, you know, they're potentially looking up, they've got the crowd on their side again, they've taken down all the Sports Direct stuff and they're bouncing and so on. You still expect United to get a result, still expect United to play particularly well and to create a ton of chances, but it wasn't there. And it's just that sort of feeling, I feel, at the minute with United, where you expect them to do something because of the players that they have, but not necessarily because of their style of play. But with the coach that they have now, it should be the style of players as well as the players. But for now, it doesn't seem to be clicking, and who knows why that is. But, you know, his time is against him, because in 6 months' time, you know, he'll be judged, especially given the fact that so many teams are after that fourth position now. If they don't get it and he's in charge, to me, it seems obvious that he's failed, and that's unequivocal, and you can't really come back from that. So let's see.
Do you know what I think is interesting? If you look at all the places he's been before, Rangnick, it's always been young, up-and-coming players and teams who, if you say jump through the wall, they'll do it without thinking about it. He's never taken on a team with the experience that all these Man United players have. And it doesn't seem as though they're interested in listening to what he's got to say for that particular reason. So how is he has no experience in dealing with that type of player. It's always been young guys who'll just do what you tell them.
Ronaldo's frustration was clear for everyone to see during the game, and then, of course, going straight down the tunnel at the final whistle as well, Mark. How much of a problem is that going to be going forward?
Well, in defence of Ronaldo, he does that all the time. He did it at Chelsea the other week. He doesn't hang around on the pitch, but you know, in terms of on the pitch, he is throwing his arms around, and he's probably looking around thinking, why on earth did I come back to Man United? Because he's looking at all the players around him thinking, what am I doing here? I mean, you know, Rangnick talks a lot about body language. It's been one of his mantras, body language, body language, body language. Well, Ronaldo's isn't great. Marcus Rashford's is terrible. Jadon Sancho, similar. Bruno Fernandes, awful. So, and this is what, you know, like Nedum was saying, the guy's been in the building for 4 weeks now, and yes, they've had a bit of a COVID shutdown. They haven't played for 16 days, but he's been there long enough to make a difference. And the body language is awful. And as Stevie was saying then, that suggests that the players are looking at the guy thinking, well, you're only going to be here for 6 months. So why should I really take notice of what you're saying? Because you're not going to make a difference. You're not going to be here next season. So that is a problem. Players look to a guy on the touchline as a temporary manager and they're thinking, well, I'm only going to put up with you for 6 months, then somebody else will come in. So if I don't like what you're saying, I'm not going to take any notice. And that's before Paul Pogba's come back. And, you know, what's Pogba going to do? And is he going to be like Rashford? Is he going to be like Fernandes? Or is he going to be a player that really is receptive to what Rangnick says? I don't think he is. So I think it's probably... Stevie's right by saying that Fred and McTominay aren't good enough for a team like Man United, and they get a lot of criticism, maybe rightly so, but there are a lot of players, bigger reputations, that aren't delivering. Maguire, Varane, Rashford, Sancho, Fernandes. Shaw didn't play last night. Wan-Bissaka was dropped last night. You know, the only player that's actually performing right now is David De Gea. And that's been United's problem for the last 8 years. The best player's been the goalkeeper, consistently. And you can't win anything when your best player's your goalkeeper.
Completely forgot about Paul Pogba. Manchester United then in action against Burnley. Just to take you through the other Premier League games that are taking place over the next 48 hours. Chelsea, Brighton, Brentford City on the Wednesday. Everton against Newcastle is postponed because of a COVID outbreak within the Newcastle camp. And it will be United against Burnley then at Old Trafford on Thursday.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.